So if you're looking outside and it's a bit cold and you're feeling some of that draft, if you're getting that sense that maybe the windows aren't keeping in the heat, well, let's see what options are available. And bearing in mind, sometimes you might just want to change the look of the house as well. And changing the windows is a great way to achieve that. Philip Sheridan is here from Sheridan Windows. Good morning.
Good morning, Will.
So let's talk through that conversation. If you're, I suppose, somebody who's not that interested in U-values and all of the complexities, just make it simple for us. What type of offering is there?
I suppose the first thing when we get people calling to us about windows and doors, the first thing to do is obviously looking at their energy costs, looking how they can save on their energy costs. So the first thing to look at, obviously bar the house and the roof, is next thing is their windows. So I suppose if you have poorly insulated windows, maybe old aluminium style, single glazed windows, you're getting a draft through them, you know, the bad design, poorly insulated. So the next step is obviously looking to change them. So I suppose what we even offer is, I suppose, top of the range, UPVC, aluminium, highest quality energy rated windows. So we can go in, we can replace them so we don't turn up your house. You know, everything is done very efficient. So that's what we kind of get a lot of people inquiring for,
now,
you know.
I suppose if you've had a reasonably new build. Some people, their house might go back to the 60s, 70s, 80s. But if you've, let's say, had one built in the 90s, noughties, that's when a huge amount of stock was introduced. Would they need an upgrade already?
I suppose, listen, if you're getting a draft through the window, of course you need something done, you know. So, like, in terms of windows, the windows have changed, although they might look the same, but they have changed in I suppose, looking in between, there's more insulation in them. You know, the beading is on the inside. The glass has seriously upgraded. So what would you got in the 90s would be in a double glazed window. But the new double glazed window now will be highly efficient now. So there's argon gas between the glass, the seals are different, you know, so it's all about keeping your heat in your house and not losing it through the home. So
I remember my parents, they had a 1970s build. They upgraded probably mid-90s to double glazing. That was the talk, double glazing.
Yeah.
So, you know, how much more efficient would the new window be?
Geez, like, I suppose my father started out 50 years ago, and that was the thing. It was a single glaze aluminium or timber, and they upgraded to a new PVC double glazed window. So that was a huge step up in terms of energy rating. You know, so you're going now from probably a double glazed window to a new standard double glazed window. Like I say, it mightn't look the same, although you might change the colour, you might change the designs, you know, but you're getting hugely more efficient window, you know. So if you're getting a draft through the window or you feel something in the back of your neck when you're sitting down, there's obviously something wrong. You're losing heat, more energy costs, so that's the time to start thinking about. Now,
and could I be miserly? Is that maybe just the seals?
Of course. Listen, there's no problem at all. We go in. If the window is in good condition, listen, I'm not here to, every window has to be replaced. If it's a quick fix, seals, maybe hinges, handles, tighten up, listen, we're the first people to say we can do that. But then if it's gone past a badly, poorly insulated window, like an old aluminium window, single glaze, there's just no seal in them. You have to, unfortunately, change them, you know. So, again, that would be definitely the next step for you.
We will come on to the styles and the colours and all the good stuff in a minute, but just on the heat retention, is there a single standard that you're aiming for now, or is there a range depending on your budget?
I suppose we talk about U values now, which is basically the rate at which heat loses through either your wall or your window. So again, I suppose in new builds, when people talk about, you know, highly efficient stuff, they talk about the U value. So the lower the U value, the better, you know. So right. I suppose windows have obviously a standard. So you go from 1.4 down to a passive window, which is 0.6, you know. So again, the older type windows could be up at a 3.4, 3.5 of a U value. So
these would be
double glazed still, double glazed still, yeah. But again, they might look the same, but they're completely efficient now. So you're talking between 1.4, which is a double glazed window, back down to a passive window. So again, it's all about your seals, your glazing, you know. Again, you mightn't see this in the window, but again, it's keeping your heat in, which you want to see, you know. So
you'll have to explain the term passive window.
Well, basically, a passive window is a highly efficient window, you know. So again, it's ultra efficient in terms of your window, so your seals, your glass. In between the window, it's insulated. The frame is insulated. You know, there's locking points. There's I think, it's 5-point locking point on the windows at the moment. So again, it's all to do with your heat loss through it. So a passive window would be hugely insulated. Now again, with the passive window, you nearly have to have your whole home passive standard. Your walls, your roof, your floors. You know, to combine everything. You know, if you had
or at least that's your end point. If
exactly.
this is part one of the project, you have
exactly.
to have part two.
Yeah. So you go along. So I suppose when we do get people coming in, they're thinking insulation. You know, how are we going to get more comfortable home? So windows are a thing in that step for them. So that's the way we work it. Yeah.
Now, I'm a boring fart. I'll get out a calculator
Right, okay.
and I'll try and figure out what's my return on investment. So if I spend X, how long does it take to have payback? And I imagine that's how long is a piece of string, but can you give us some sense?
Yeah, of course it is. Well, yeah, listen, how long is a piece of string? Again, if you're heating your house where there's oil, solid fuel, air-to-water systems, you know, if your heat is going out through that window, you're basically paying more money. So again, okay, if you get a new window, you're definitely going to save. You could save up to €200-300 a year. Now, listen, it's long term, but it's a long term investment if you're changing your windows and doors. You know, so again, it's all down to keeping your heat in your home and trying to minimise the heat loss from your windows and doors. You know, so we kind of get bogged down in figures, U values, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's about being comfortable in your home and not wasting energy costs. The air-to-water systems obviously are electricity. So again, if you're having high bills and stuff like that, you don't want you don't want your heat going through your windows. You know, so again, the air-to-water system would be probably more in new houses. You know, so again, your insulation through your walls, your floors, your roofs will be highly efficient as well. So that's an overall kind of scheme of things.
But more and more older houses through the deep retrofit grants, they're looking at that too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, the deep retrofit grants, you know, are huge. You know, so like you have the one-stop shop, which is basically it's an overhaul your house. So you can go get your solar panels, you can get your heating system upgrade, your insulation. So again, that's the whole package, and windows and doors are included in that. Unfortunately, there's no standalone grant for windows and doors. So say, well, you just want to change your windows and doors. Unfortunately, at the moment, through the SAA or anything, there's no grant just for you to change your windows and doors. You have to do it through a package. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but that's just...
Those are the rules as they stand.
That's the rules as they stand,
Electric Ireland Superhomes is such a one-stop shop.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Oh, no, that's it, and we're doing a lot of retrofits, you know. So, again, people are thinking energy. They're thinking how we... saving on costs and fuel and stuff like that. And again, listen, windows come into that package, but again, it is a big overhaul if you're doing that, you know.
Is there anything else to be mindful of? Obviously, it's a lovely experience being in this warm room, but if you've got, air tightness, do you have to consider ventilation more so,
course,
condensation?
And that's a big thing, like condensation, especially this weather at the moment through the winter, you would have a lot of people with condensation issues. Condensation is basically humidity in your room. So that's basically, if you see condensation in your window, it's humidity, it's ventilation. We always say ventilation. The first thing in a new house or retrofit through the one-stop shops is to get everything airtight, but to have a ventilation system to sort out. If you have an old window, single glazed window, and you're putting in now a new airtight, aerated, top-of-the-range window, you're actually going to probably see it more because you're getting more airtight. There's no room for the room to breathe. So again, it is very, very important. And I go through that with people if they're changing windows. Or ventilation is huge, you know. So again, condensation dripping from windows. Now the new window would reduce the condensation on it. You won't get this saturated from the old windows. But if you see condensation in windows, as I said, windows don't produce condensation. It's from our breathing, it's from clothes drying, it's from tightness and stuff like that. So again, that's the thing to look at. Ventilation, yeah.
Now, for most people, the more exciting part is talking about styles and colours. So what's popular at the moment?
Basically, budget-friendly would be your PVC. Aluminium is coming back, or more thermal-efficient aluminium. It kind of gives it a more contemporary, slick, flat look, you know. So people, if they want to upgrade from your PVC, it will be the aluminium. At the moment, price point is just slightly higher. But again, your PVC window is top of the range. Comes in any amount of colours. Like we've 4 types of greys, We have
You
whites.
have 4 greys.
4 greys, yeah. And there's more coming, yeah. There's, listen, a bog standard white. Going back, my father years ago, it was only basically white or your brown, your mahogany brown. And that was the 2 types you could get, and that was it, you know. So, again, as we're going along the market, it's definitely more colours being introduced. And as many colours as we have, it's still sometimes not the right one for some people, you know. So, again, yeah, there's plenty of...
Do you get unusual choices ever?
Oh, geez, yeah, of course, yeah. You would, and again, listen, it's the one you don't have in the showroom is the one you want, you know. But again, listen, there's plenty of designs and colours and stuff like that. I suppose another thing I was supposed to talk about the window designs would be the older type windows would have, you know, these top kind of sashes, top hung sashes, you know. So again, if you're thinking of maybe in your bedrooms, God forbid there's a fire in your room, you need to be thinking about getting access out of the window. So again, we call them the fire escape windows, so they open 90 degree and allow access, God forbid there's a fire in your home. So again, if you come to the showroom, we'll go through everything with you in that sense to make sure you're happy with everything, yeah.
A few people have asked, can you change the glass instead of the frames?
Of course you can, yeah. Again, if you have windows in the 90s you got, maybe you thought you paid big money for them, yeah, you think they're still good. Again, you can change glass. So you change, we say you keep the frame, replace the pane. So you take out the old non-efficient glass and you put in your new energy efficient glazing. Now the only thing with that is your framing has to be in decent quality. Like as in if it's not damaged, but if it's shrunk, the beads are shrunk, or there's a bow in the window or stuff like that, it's no point doing the glass because you're still going to get a draft through the frames and stuff like that. So again, the glass will limit it, but again, you have to make sure that the frames are high quality, you know. Now we do that, that's the service we do provide. So again, if I go out to a customer and I thought I would advise it on as well, you know. So
there are a lot of questions we haven't gotten to.
Right, okay.
But Green Home and Energy Show, 23rd of February, Tullamore Court Hotel. Your brain is there to be picked, Philip.
Oh, it definitely is. Yeah. We were there last year, so very enjoyable show last year. Yeah, plenty of questions, plenty of people, and very enjoyable. Yeah, so looking forward to it this year. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.